Hello Yow Lot, how am ya? Today we were cooking, we? I must be mad because it's really warm outside, but I've got leeks to use up and I've got some potatoes and mushrooms to use up, so we're going to make a leek and potato pie. I've got the water boiling for the potatoes at the minute, but they're not yet peeled. So we're going to peel the potatoes, we've got to peel a carrot, and this is my half dead leek, but it'll be fine. And mushrooms and celery as well. I keep the celery on a windowsill in water because it keeps it crunchy. Just gotta sort this. And there we are. So that's the ingredients. Oh, and I've got broccoli because I like to cook like a bit of this off, and it does need using. So we have like little broccoli bits in it as well. Let's have a look what herbs and spices we should use. Garlic, a vegetable stock. I use the stock pots. These are actually from Asda. I do normally get the Knorr ones, but I thought we'll try the Asda ones because they're a little bit cheaper. They're the same pretty much. Oh, they're bigger. Interesting. Okay, well we know which one we're using because this one ripped, so there we are. We're going to have rosemary and thyme. I have got some thyme in here somewhere. That's reminding me I'm going to need some more. My hair is wet because I've only just come out of the shower, and I just thought this afternoon, because like there's loads going on outside with the sun, everyone's out with the lawnmowers and stuff. I think kids next door as well, so I thought, you know what, I might as well just record cooking. So here's the ingredients, quickly show ya. I'll probably add more as I go along, but first I'm going to peel and wash my potatoes. Oh, it's already getting rather warm in here, so slowly take them off. So I know it's called a leek and mushroom pie, but I add literally everything in it just to add flavour and just to bulk it up with veg, because I don't use meat in it, so the more we have the better really, the more food we've got in there the better. So this is not healthy, well, I mean it's not unhealthy, but I will be using like a creamy sauce. But then I am only using, see I'm not very good with like nutritional advice, but, because I don't really know the ins and outs of what's good for your body, what's not. However, I am using vegan butter, so that shouldn't be as filled with cholesterol as proper butter, right? I'm not sure though. And the milk I'll be using is oat milk, so I don't think that is as bad for you either. So it's pretty healthy, I would think. Don't know. I think. Anyway, coming over here, can you see me? Yeah, you can see me, can't you? Let's move all its head first. You know how to chop a potato though, but you know, just for the effects. Oh, I only sharpened my knife yesterday. Looks good actually. I cut them up quite small so they don't take long to cook, but you can just whack them in however you want really. The water's boiling anyway, just going to turn that low now. So the potatoes should take about 20 minutes. So while the potatoes are doing, I'll chop up the other veg and then whack them in a pan. You know, I often do too many potatoes, but then I just save them for my dinner tomorrow or whenever. Oh, that's a big potato. Thick. probably going to have far too much there. 3 big potatoes, but we'll see. My favourite part, getting splashed with boiling hot water. Sorry that my back's to you, like this is probably the best way to do it in all honesty. So, the way my kitchen's laid out. There we are. I'm lethal with a knife as well, so I mean I might scream a couple of times. I mean I've done that many potatoes, they won't even fit in my pot. Come on. I'll cut you up small, you'll just dissolve. Okay, I'm going to leave the potatoes on low for a bit just while I cut the veg, because that's going to take me at least like 10 minutes. I'm just going to swill this off so I can get rid of all the potato starchy stuff. I've got the potatoes on low at the moment. I'm going to cut the veg up first and then I'll whack the potatoes back up to high, and then I'll cook everything in the pan at the same time, and then I'll start the sauce. I forget how difficult it is, you know. Right. And talking to someone as well while you're doing it, it's even harder. Let's get chopping. I'm going to chop the celery up small so it cooks quicker, and it's just really for the taste more than anything. Do sometimes put lentils in, but I'm going to leave them out of this one because I don't want too much going on, because then I'd have to boil the lentils separate to the potatoes. So that's another pot using. It's just a lot for me to concentrate on. Half the leek. Do we count how many times I nearly catch my finger? There's literally no method to the way I do this. I just halve the carrot and then cut it into little pieces. Save the messing. Sometimes if I'm brave I do 2 at the time, but then I normally lose the carrot on the floor, so all 3 at a time. Look at me. Oh, and I managed to keep it all on the board. Nice. It's nice to have you here actually, because I'd normally just be having conversations with myself, so hi! We put the carrots in after the onions because they take the longest to do, so and while they're cooking we can cook some mushrooms. I'll put the mushrooms in the bag. We use 4 mushrooms I think, and I've got 2 left for my breakfast tomorrow or something. And I'm just going to wash my veg. I already did my celery. Just going to wash these through. Now we're going to turn my potatoes up. we're going to get some onions out the freezer. A few frozen onions. Just going to put this on. So this is a low heat hob, but I've put it on the highest. And today I'm going to cook with water rather than oil, just because we had takeaway yesterday, so that was quite unhealthy. So today we're going to have less oil and more water in our lives. I'm just going to let that boil a little bit. And then I'm going to add my onions. I don't measure this out, as long as it looks right. That's it, just a little pile in the frying pan. And the great thing about using water is you can use as much as you like. Garlic. Now just while they're cooking a little bit, I'm going to chop my mushrooms. And then I'll move the camera over here a little bit. I like my mushrooms quite chunky. Put it in. I like them chunky. So I just quarter them. They're good to nothing anyway when they've been cooked, so that's plenty. I'm going to just use like 2 florets of broccoli, and then I've cut these up really small. And they just look really pretty in the pie. And extra iron. Can't forget the health benefits. I don't even know if it's iron that they have. I think it is though. These are starting to bubble now, so I'm just going to give them a stir. Okay, it might get a little bit steamy, but we'll see how it goes. Oh god, that smells lovely. Can you smell that? Can you? Okay, now we're going to add some carrots. I want to try and separate them from the leeks actually. I never make anything easy for myself. Should I wash them separate, Jode? Oh well. Once I've got all the veg in ready, I'm gonna make the sauce. The sauce. I think I remember how to make it. So I'm just going to turn that down a little bit while it cooks nicely, and add a bit more water. And then I'll actually add the celery now as well, because that takes a bit to cook. So I've got oat milk, this is just from Asda, cheap one, and Flora plant-based butter. To be honest, I wasn't very keen on this at first because I'm a butter lover, you see, I love butter, but it smelled completely different to butter, but I must admit when it's on toast, it tastes like butter. It's just the smell that put me off at first, but actually it's decent and I shouldn't moan. Right, we're going to use, I'm going to say, half a pint of water. Water, half a pint of milk. I'm going to just measure that out now. Oh, just enough. Okay. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to put all the veg in here because the carrots should be go, we spilled some. Because I'm so aggressive all the while. How are you doing, Spuds? Okay, now we're going to swap. Put milk in there. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour, so that will help thicken the sauce up. And then, to be honest, level spoons as well. I don't be crazy. No heap spoons, just a level spoon. I've got a little whisk somewhere. Ah, here it is. Perfect. I wouldn't recommend using a tiny whisk like this once the water and pot get really hot. Milk, it's milk. Milk and pot get really hot just because obviously the heat will go all the way up to the top and burn your finger. But it's alright to start with. Okay. Now we're going to add some butter. Again, I'll never measure this. I'll just chop it off. That'll do. Mix that in until it melts. Right, let's heat this up a bit so we can get this butter melted in here. I'm going to add some whole grain mustard just to add a bit of flavour in here. I literally just like put half a teaspoon in. And then I'll mix that around. Just keep adding water as and when you think you need it. You'll know because your bed will start sticking. But because you've used water, once you add a bit more, it won't stick anymore. And then, obviously, when your sauce is done, it'll be fine because you can just whack the sauce in. Oh, my sauce is thickening, lovely, just in time as the kettle has boiled and I can add my stock. Beautiful! Look at that! Okay, my battery's low now, right, so I'm hoping that we get through the whole of this without my battery dying, because that could be awkward. Oh, these are so much stickier than the Knorr ones. Very thick. Sticky. Oh, I think I like the look of these actually. Might be a bit better. Oh. Turn my sauce down. Add a bit of water in here. They say to like mix this up with half a pint, but I don't. I just put a bit of water in, stir it up. I add that to my veg. Stir it round in my veg. Oh god, you know what, it smells lovely. Sweet. Okay, and now we're gonna pop that back on there on a higher heat, and I'm gonna add my sauce. Now I would normally cook with soya milk because I think oat milk might be a little bit too sweet, but I haven't tried it yet because I've never cooked with oat milk before. It's normally, like I say, soya or almond, and they've worked fine, so we'll see. This is all that I had, so oh, that looks really nice and very thick. Beautiful. Now I'm going to turn that down really low and just wait for it to cook a little bit more and just flavour together. going to just add my potatoes, see how I'm doing. Oh lovely, they're done almost. I'll mash those potatoes while I wait for this to cook. Lovely. Put it all in here and then the potato on top. That will do like me and Nathan's tea tonight, and like I'll have a bit left over for my dinner tomorrow. Okay, so I won't show you how to mash potatoes because I'm pretty sure you know how to do that. There is plenty of YouTube videos with that on, and I don't want to bore you too much. So I'll drain my potatoes now, get them mashed, and then I will finish off and get it all in the oven. I'm just going to pop my oven on now, 200 degrees. So I've put my oven on now to preheat while I'm mashing my potatoes and whatnot. I'm getting this pie in there. And then I will pop this in the oven for around 30 to 40 minutes. I normally do 20 minutes with it covered and then 10 with it not. And if I still think it needs a little bit more, then I'll put it in for a little bit longer. Okay, so now I'm just gonna pop all this in here. And here we have my mashed potato. It don't look very creamy, to be honest, because I had butter. I got lazy, but it'll be fine. Because the milk's quite creamy anyway, it'll be absolutely fine. And I think we've got just enough potato. After all, you do need quite a bit of potato to do these because they're quite big casserole dishes, wherever they are. Are they casserole dishes? I don't know. I'm sure there's a proper name. It probably is a casserole dish, but I don't know. Someone will correct me, I'm sure. Should really find out the proper names for things before I start doing videos about them. I'm just lazy. And forgetful. Okay, and now we got to make it pretty. No, we just got to blend it all together. So, spread it all across with my fork. And then we know where we need more potato and where we need less, and we can just spread it out properly. I think that'll do. We don't want too much because it gets too heavy on the sauce and it will explode in the oven. So there we are. We've got a pie. So now we're going to put this in the oven. Oh, I've got to cover it up. Oh my god, I would have had burnt potatoes. In the middle of the oven for 20 minutes. Okay, so there we are, all done. I've not made too much of a mess. There we are, look. It's not too bad at all, unlike most times. So yeah, I'm just going to wait now for that to cook, and I'll show you pictures later at the end of the video what it looked like. I will say that we don't just have the pie, like I do veg on the side as well, so I'll use probably some cabbage and a corn on a cob as a side, just so we've got plenty of veg and it's really filling, because sometimes when you just have pie it's not that filling, so you need something else on the side, you know, so I do that. We used to have Yorkshire pudding actually, but I can't have that anymore because they all put milk in. You don't have to, and I could make my own. Like, I haven't done enough today. Shall we make my own? Shall we make our own Yorkshire puddings? I've got to do it now, haven't I? I've got too excited. Yeah, let's do our own Yorkshire puddings. Let me see how long they take and what time I'll have to put them in. Because I won't want to put them in until like it's tea time, because this is just going to be left out and then I'll warm it up later. Because obviously it's afternoon. I'm sweating because I'm right over the oven as well. Oh might make my own Yorkshire puddings. Whether I'll be able to film it or not, I don't know, because it depends what time I decide to do them. But I might do that. Okay, I got overexcited for nothing there. If I do decide to do the Yorkshire puddings, that will be on another video. I promise. I'll put it here on the channel if I decide to do it, okay? Right then, that's it. Take a look at this beauty. Ta-da! So here it is, my pie, all cooked and bubbling nicely. I'm just going to cover this up now until we're ready to eat it. Trying to do this without burning myself is going to be impossible. There we go. That'll do. So there we are then. Right then, Yow Lot, it's been great seeing you, talking to you and that. I best be off. Bye for now. Oh God, I'm fucking hot.